Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do an update of year one in my 7-year journal. And, it's 2023 just got over and we're at the new year. And if you don't know, I actually created this 7-year journal last year out of a Hobonichi weeks that I had lying around. This is the Inuyasha weeks for the year 2022, and it was a spring start, so it started on April, and I had originally intended to use this as my Japanese language learning journal, but plans changed and I decided to use this instead as a 7-year journal. And if you would like to see how I set this particular Hobonichi weeks to accommodate 7 years worth of dates in it, do check out the video that I will be linking up in the cards above. So without further ado, I'm gonna just jump into how I've been using it and how my year one, which is 2023, has gone in the 7-year journal. I won't be going into way too much depth of how I'm using it because there are details about it in the video that I'm linking above. But I do want to talk a little bit about, how interesting this experience was for me because, the intent originally was for me to have something that I can use portable, which is light and portable enough for me to carry with wherever I'm going. And I think it has served the purpose really well. I was able to keep up with every single day for the year in 2023 for this particular journal because of the fact that I didn't have a lot of space for me to write, and most of the time it was just an indication of where I was that particular day, what happened. If there was something consequential that happened, I would just write it. If it was just a regular normal day, I would just write that as well. So mostly it's just an indication of where I was and what I did that particular day. And not gonna lie, there were days where I felt like writing a lot more. And one of the things that I did do for those particular days where I just used a dot sticker to, indicate that I have more to talk about. And I'll probably show, so like on September 18th, I had a little bit more to talk about than what I just wanted to write in here. So what I would generally do is just after my entire year has been, the entries are there, I would just use the Hobonichi back pages to just write down the date that I have something specific to talk about, and just write it. And, the entire year, I did not have way too much to write, just 3 pages worth of information that just did not simply fit into these tiny blocks in here. So I do feel like this is pretty nice the way that I do have it set up. After the year one was finished, and I'm filming this, on the Saturday actually, which is January 6th. So I do have a few more days to write. But, I was really interested in seeing how it will look once the year progresses. So we're in 2024 right now, and I just started writing, and I feel like it's more interesting after you have completed a year because you can now compare your entries for the previous year. And I'm not gonna lie, I was not very well throughout the entirety of Christmas, and I'm just starting to get better. So I can physically see the feeling that I have right now versus the kind of feeling that I had last year during the New Year's. It's completely different. I was really excited during the New Year's last year, but that's not how it is right now. But yeah, so this has been like pretty interesting from an overall, writing entries perspective. And I have been able to keep up with this because, the Hobonichi weeks is pretty light enough for me to actually take it with me anywhere that I go. So if I am traveling or if I'm going on vacation, this is not like the Hobonichi Cousin or even the Hobonichi 5-year journals, which are pretty thick that, it will be a little hard for you to carry them along with you when you are traveling. You can do it, but it's safe to say that having something as slim as the weeks is much more easier. So these are things that I had already mentioned in my earlier video, but there are slight changes that I did do to this layout, midway through the year last year, just so that I can track a little bit more. So some of the things that I did do was, so if you look at, the monthly sections in your Hobonichi weeks, you would notice that these cells in here, these are actually 7 cells if you count. So I figured I'm going to use the monthly section to just track my mood as well. So, and this is not something that I do every single day. The only thing that I try to do every single day is write the entries. So when I am writing the entries, I do know whether it was a good day, whether it was an okay day, or whether it was a bad day. And while I have those entries in there, after the end of the month, I would come to the monthly view and then start adding, a dot marker indicator to show how I was feeling. So for example, on the July of 2023, it was not a great month for me. I did, you can see it's pretty clear from the indication that, the green is good, the yellow is okay, and the red is basically, not a good day. And I also started tracking my health related stuff as well in this way. So like, for example, on the 6th, it was just an okay day, but I also had migraines. On the 8th, it was not an okay day, and I also had this I had a sleep paralysis attack as well. So those are some things that I am tracking, and I really like the way that this layout has been structured, because it's enough for me to get a really high level overview of how my month has gone. And when I'm going to start for the next, or for the current year, what I would do, like for example, this is basically the new year. So, and since this is the spring layout, it's a little different. So the January comes actually after the December, not at the very beginning. The first month in the spring layout is actually March, and the Januaries come towards the end of it. So for example, when I'm now trying to, take a look at how my January has gone so far for the year 2024, I will probably use, the same kind of color coding mechanism, but now that I have this view ready, I can just show you how it goes. So like, the second was according to my entries. The second was like my first day back in office. It wasn't very great, so I'm just going to use a yellow indication, and I will just use this right here. So if you can see, how it will look is basically on 2023, the 2nd of January was great for me, but the 2024 was just an okay day. So I will finish, every month after the fact, basically. So after I have completed all the entries for that particular month, that's when I generally have my mood tracker updated as well. So it doesn't have to be like a very immediate thing for me, because I have information that I can reference in my daily entries that I can go back and add. So this is something that I've been doing, and I really enjoy doing this as well. It also helps me keep track of important things. Like, so for example, in December, I was actually traveling home for a small vacation, and I know that I was traveling out on the 20th, so I have it written as at travel. And of course, I was ill the very last week of December, so I also have like indications to say that I was not well during the last week. And I'm just using, the Zig Clean Clear Dots, standard colors to indicate these moods, and they've been just working fine for me. Another thing that I have been doing, and this is kind of very interesting, because every time that I try and find something, I always figure out that there is actually 7 cells, and that's the same in this particular slot right here as well. So on the Hobonichi weeks, the year at a glance view is pretty small for you to actually write anything. But if you see here, I just used, some sticker paper backing to cover the entries up here, and I just used, dot stickers to write the month. So I have 1 to 12 written out here, and there are actually 7 cells in here. So I can write for every month what was a highlight of my month. And that has also been working pretty good. So I have completed the first year, which is 2023. It's just an indication of what was the, important thing that happened in the month, if there was anything important. If nothing, then I wouldn't specifically call it out. Like for example, for January of 2023, I just wrote Happy New Year, and I just wrote like where I was when I was traveling for the next few months, and just things that, I feel like were a highlight of that particular month is what I've been writing in here as well. So this is also pretty interesting. It's kind of nice to know that there are actually 7 cells, and I was just figuring out how to use it. And one of the other things, like I said, just being able to write more if required. So if I do feel like I need to write more, I do have enough back pages for me to get through 7 years. For example, I know that these many pages should be more than enough. Now in the event it's not enough, I also have these those memo notebooks that you can insert at the back of your Hobonichi Weeks. Let me try to find one. So these are the kind of Hobonichi Weeks supplement notebooks that you get. This is from the Mother series that you can actually use as, you can just stick them into your backing paper right here. And they will fit perfectly well. So in the event that I do run out of pages, which I feel is highly unlikely, I can use one of these to, append it. And honestly, I feel like this system has been working really well for me, and it's something that I've been able to keep up with as well. I don't feel like I will get tired of it, and part of that is because of this cover. I absolutely love this cover. I feel like Hobonichi really knocked it out of the park with the Inuyasha collection. I feel like this is their best, if not best, one of the best covers that they've ever come up with. So I'm really happy that this has been working for me, and I do plan to continue it for the upcoming years, and I'm really glad I actually started it. I did get a feeling that there are things that I would want to track as part of my growth, the changes that I'm going through in my life, and having this book has been really, really helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.